What's up, you guys? It's your girl, the Sunflower Child, and you are now tuned into Talks with Sean. Welcome to my podcast. It has been a long time coming. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. And if you are not a newcomer and you're coming back, a returner, a supporter, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. I know it's been a minute. Please bear with me because my voice is raspy. I'm getting over a cold. I'm having some technical difficulties with my sound, things like that. But it's not going to stop me from speaking, right? It's not going to stop me from doing what I love to do. And so I am back. It's been a minute, almost a year. And I'm so honored to be in front of you. I'm so honored that you're watching me. I'm so grateful and I'm thankful that you are being a part of my journey in every step of the way. It has been a rough one. It has been a tough one, but we've made it. I've made it. You've made it. And this is not the end, but just the beginning. And so today's topic is God uses our pain for purpose. And so I'm not going to be with you for too long. But I thought it was important that I start off with this topic because a lot of us have gone through a lot, right? We're still in a pandemic, although we are able to go out, we're able to go do some things that we used to do in our normal life, right? Back in 2019 and the years before that. But things are still not where they used to be. And, excuse me. A lot of us have gone through a lot of pain, including myself. And so before I really get into it, as a motivational speaker, it's always important that I be transparent. It's always important that I am honest with you guys. And so for me, I had to take another break, right? Because the first return, I thought I was good. But if you look at those videos, I wasn't healthy. And I'm not even talking about a physical look. But in a sense, I was bigger. But just, you can see a lot of pain. You can see a lot of hurt in those videos. And I was in denial, and I was making myself believe that I was healed. And I was rushing myself to get back on when I should have just kept working on myself. But in reality, I wasn't really working on myself. I was focused more so on moving and not working on my internal self. I was focused on trying to get somewhere to a physical location, right? And sometimes we are focused on other things, and God will shut those things down because we are not emotionally and mentally healed. We think we are, but we're not, right? And so this time around, I took a break. It wasn't, how do I say this? It ended up working out for my favor, but I took a break for a different amount of reasons. And I'm back, and I have so much to share with you guys. I have so much to talk about through my pain and through the trials that I've gone through within the last couple of months, and from the beginning of this year till now, right? And so I'm just so grateful. So please bear with me. It's been a minute, but I believe that this is definitely going to help somebody and touch somebody. So today's topic is God uses our pain for purpose. And a lot of us go through so much pain and so much hurt, and we ask God and we question God, why would you allow this to happen? And it's like we ask God, why would you even put me in this situation? But sometimes God doesn't put us in those situations. Sometimes we put ourselves in those situations, and then we look around and then we get mad at God and we blame God when we should be blaming ourselves. God gives us grace and he saves us, but through the saving grace of him saving us, right, he also taps our booty, hello, and gives us a lesson, because that's not the plan. That wasn't the road that we were supposed to be on in the first place. But because he is so gracious, and because he is such an amazing God, he gives us second chances and chances after chances to get it right. And so I'm a living witness of getting many chances of getting it right. And so I'm not going to really be sharing into details exactly all of what I've gone through this year, because some of it's just really unnecessary. But what I will do is share bits and pieces of lessons, and bits and pieces of stories to help you and to help myself with my healing journey. Excuse me. And so what I realize is, when you are not healed, when you are going through pain and you are going through suffering, you happen to latch onto people and atmospheres that are no good for you. Um, and most of the times we are vulnerable, right? And so when we are vulnerable, we are opening our spirit and our soul to things that are negative, that are toxic, right? Whether that's a person or whether that's you, whether somebody brings out the toxicness in you, whether somebody brings out trauma in you, or whether you bring that out of yourself, right? There's certain things that may trigger you. And so it is so important. I say this as somebody who is doing the work finally, to take time to heal. And what I realize is, in the beginning and the end of 2020, the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, I didn't take this time to really heal. I allowed myself to be so vulnerable and allowed myself to be in situations that I could have avoided. But when you do not love yourself, when you do not give yourself time to work on yourself by yourself, hello, you end up being attached to things that cause you more damage and cause you more pain. And so you're probably wondering, well, how can God use my pain into purpose? Well, God used your pain into purpose because through your pain, you learn something. Through your hurt, you grow, right? Without pain, there's no progress. Without pain, there is no lessons. And so we couldn't have life. We couldn't have motivational speakers. We couldn't have you in this world if you didn't go anything to overcome it so that you can tell your story. And so, I was in a dark place, where I thought I was happy. I thought I was in a space of healing, and I'm doing me, and this is the life that I want. And it wasn't the life that I wanted. It was the life that my flesh wanted. It was the life that I thought was good for me. And sometimes when you don't know who you are, and when you don't know your worth, right, you end up dealing with the bottom of the barrel, in a sense. You end up dealing with people and things who are actually more damaged than you, but because you don't see it and they see your potential and they see where you're going, they use that and flip it on you to make them feel stronger and to make them feel more secure in who they are, because they don't want you to see your potential, because if you see your potential, then you wouldn't even want to be around them. Whew. And then that would show their insecurities. So they play on yours. Ooh, does that make sense? Ooh, that's a word. Hello. Whoa. So you have to be careful with the atmospheres when you're in your healing stage, when you're in your growing stage. I believe that when you're in your healing stage, you cannot add people and add atmospheres that you don't know or you're fully aware of, right? Because when you are going down a path where it's healing, where it's focusing on yourself, there are so many distractions. Excuse me. And sometimes we can't even, like I said, sometimes we can't even blame the people or the atmospheres. We put ourselves in those situations. There's so many things that we could have avoided. But God gives us grace to get it right. And through our pain, He shows us things that we didn't see until we go through it and come out of it. And so I'm here to tell you that whatever you're going through, whatever it is, whether that's a bad relationship, whether that's mental health, whether that's you starting school and stopping, whether that's you starting a podcast and stopping, God has a purpose for your pain, and He's going to use that for your good. You have to believe that what you're going through is not the end result. You've gone through worse. You've gone through things and you've overcome those things and you've come out golden. So what makes you think that this situation that you're in right now, you're not going to come out of? Sometimes we think that the situation that we're in is bigger than God, is bigger than our destiny and our future, and it's not. It may seem like it because the enemy wants you to get off track. The enemy is threatened by who you're becoming, and so the best way to do that is to distract you and bring more pain to your pain. And we have to be careful with that. We have to be careful with who we latch onto and who we allow to latch onto us. I had to realize, what is it about me that I need to work on, that I keep attracting toxic people, insecure people, or people who have dealt with trauma. There are things in my life, insecurities, trauma, and things that I did not work on that was attracting people. You're only going to attract who you are at the time. So if you are a broken person, you're going to attract a broken person. If you are a toxic person, you're going to attract toxic people. If you're an insecure person, you're probably going to attract somebody who is insecure or somebody who can play on your insecurities. So it is very important that we heal, ladies and gentlemen, so that you are not in a situation where you are feeling like life is over for me, because there was a time where I felt like life was over for me. There has been many times where I was very suicidal, but this year was the worst and the most. I had asked God several times to take me away, and I heard the Lord say so many times to me, not yet, right? There was a lot of things that I went through, as far as like I almost got shot. I was going to a party, right? And the bullet, long story short, the bullet passed our car. Long story short, I'm not going to go into details of how and what. But if the bullet had hit the car I was in, it would have hit straight in the middle, and I would have gotten hit. There has been times where, for example, I had COVID. I was acting a fool. Okay, if you guys had followed me on Instagram, I was going out every night. I was drinking. I was smoking. I was broken. I thought I was happy. I was trying to get over pain. I was trying to get over things that I was going through. And I was using substance. I was using alcohol. I was using weed as my get over it. As my savior, as my, this is going to make me feel better. And did it make me feel better in that moment? Yes, in that moment. But when the high came down and when the drunkenness was over and I had a headache, I was still left with pain. And so I'm here to tell you that God, is the only way. God is the only way to give you peace and joy. Because when I felt like giving up, when I asked God to take me away, He had given me certain challenges where I almost lost my life. But He gave me those challenges to show me that it's not time yet. Your time is not up. And so I'm talking to somebody who wants to give up. I'm talking to somebody who wants to say, God, I'm done. I'm over it. Your time is not over yet. See, when there's a lot of chaos, when there's a lot going on, you have to understand that there is a blessing coming your way. You have to understand that every storm that you go through, think about like really a real storm. Think about a storm. When you go through stuff and when you see a storm outside your window, it's storming, it's raining, thunder, and lightning, and then it calms down. And most of the time, if it's during the day, a rainbow comes. And we have to understand that every storm has a new beginning to it. The storm doesn't last always. The storm doesn't last. And if you just hold on, you'll see why you had to go through it. And we might ask, like, God, why did I have to go through this? Because there are certain things that you have to learn in order to reach the next chapter, in order to reach the next goal, in order to heal, in order to be in a healthier relationship and in a healthier friendship and a healthier environment. You have to go through unhealthy environments so you could be like, hold on, whoa, this ain't it. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be around this. I can't do this. This is not good for me. And so I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to give up on what God told you to do. I don't want you to give up on your talents, because God will use the very thing that is hurting you, and he will turn it around. The Bible speaks about God will prepare a table in front of our enemies. And it's not just necessarily our enemies, but God will use the same hurt and the same pain to show your enemies that it didn't break you, but it elevated you, it motivated you, it pushed you. And not only did it push you, but it showed them that whatever they did or whatever they tried to do didn't do anything, but it only made you stronger. And it confuses them, because it's like, how in the world is this woman, is this man able to push through? There's a certain type of strength that you have that a lot of people don't have. There's a certain type of warrior that God has given you to be. So do not question why you're going through it, but be thankful, because there is something greater. I had to go through the pain so that I am able to tell my story, so that I can heal, and so that I can grow, so that I can tell you that it's going to be okay, that I've been cheated on, that I've been lied on, that my name has been destroyed, that people try to call me crazy, that people try to do anything to destroy me, but I'm still standing, and I'm still alive, and I'm still able to speak. I'm still able to move. I'm still able to push through, because there's a purpose in my pain. And there's a purpose. There's purpose in your pain. There's a story behind it that we need to hear. There is something that the world needs from you. And we're only going to get it through the pain. We're only going to get it if you go through the pain, so that you can push through, so that you can get your strength back, so that you can tell somebody else your story to help somebody else. And so do not question why am I not good enough? Why does this person not see me for who I am? You guys, I had gained so much weight. My face was breaking out. I was just in a bad state. And what ends up happening is, if you're not around people who are not for you completely, they will try to destroy you. Because people see your potential, and that's why it's so important to heal. Because if you don't see your potential, other people will see your potential and try to destroy you, so you don't reach your potential. Because if you reach your potential, you'll be higher than them. And it's not about thinking that you're better than them, but there's a certain level that you need to go to. There's a certain elevation that you need to go to, because there is something greater for you to do. And sometimes people are insecure and threatened by that, and because they don't have what you have, they will try to destroy it before you see it. Woo! Be careful who you surround yourself with. Be careful of the spirits and the energies that you surround yourself with. People will start off good and start off crazy at the end of the day. People who say they love you will end up turning on you, because it was never love. And if you loved yourself a little bit more, if you took time to know who you are, you would have seen the red flags. You would have seen that this is not love. we put ourselves in situations and we make ourselves believe that this is love, that this is what God has intended for us, that this is what I'm supposed to have. No. Not if somebody is treating you bad. Not if somebody is using your mental health against you. Not if somebody is trying to break your spirit and uplift you and bring you down. That's not love. That's not peace. That's not somebody that you want to be around. So it is important to protect your peace. I advise you to take your time to heal. We're so afraid to be alone. And what ends up happening is if you do not take the time to be alone, you will be in the hands of anything. Be careful. Be careful. Love yourself. Go to therapy. What really helped me was therapy. I go to therapy every week, and I still go. And I've learned so much about myself, and I've grown, and I've realized my triggers. I've realized my toxic traits. I've realized things that I've carried from trauma into other relationships, into friendships, into atmospheres, and how important it is to break that, because my pain is not who I am, but is a part of my story. It is not a part of me. And so we have to detach our pain, because if we don't detach our pain, then we assume that our pain is us, and it's not us. So get the healing that you need, but trust and believe that God will use your pain and turn it around into purpose. Into purpose. The very thing that tried to destroy you is the very thing that's going to push you and going to elevate you, because you're not going to want to deal with it no more. You're going to get to a place where you get tired. I got to a place where I got tired. I got tired of being mistreated. I got tired of being talked down to. Whether that was a relationship, whether that was a friendship, I got tired. There was something in me that, I guess for me, it was just really wanting to end my life and finding God again. And realizing how much he loved me so much that he chased me down to tell me that it wasn't my time, that there is greater for me, and that because of who I am in Christ and because of who I am as a person, there are going to be things and people who will try to destroy what God has called me to be. And that goes for you. There are going to be things that are going to come in your way to distract you, to get you off the path that God has called you to be on. So please be careful, but know that your pain is being turned around into purpose. Whew. Know that those tears are being wiped. Know that the nights that you cried alone that nobody knew about. Know that the nights where you wanted to give up, God whispered in your ear, even if you couldn't even know. But God whispered in your ear and told you that it's going to be okay. That everything that you've gone through is going to work out for you. It's going to work out. It's going to elevate you. You're going to grow from this. You're going to learn, but you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to heal. You have to be willing to want to push through. You have to be willing to want to get out of the toxicness. You have to be willing to want more for yourself and not to be stuck at where you are because you want to be wanted. You have to want yourself. I got to a place where I was okay with not loving myself so somebody else can try to love me the way that I should have loved myself. I got to a place where I was okay with being mistreated just so that I can say I had somebody. I got to a place where it was okay to be in unhealthy environments because it made me feel good. because I felt wanted. You have to want yourself. You gotta want yourself more than anything in this world, because nobody's gonna love you if you don't know how to love yourself. Nobody's gonna understand how to love you if you don't even know how to love yourself. How do you expect somebody to love you if you don't even know how to love yourself? How do you expect to be in a healthy relationship if you're still holding on to toxic traits, if you haven't healed, if you're still holding on to baggage, physically, emotionally, mentally, if you're still thinking in that mindset, if you're still holding on to your past relationships and you're bringing that into new ones? Heal yourself, because once you heal, you'll be able to see clear, and your pain will turn into purpose. Your pain will motivate you. Your pain will give you strength to show yourself, number one, that you can do it. And I did it. I went from being 100 to 94 pounds to 174 pounds, and I still have a long way to go. I lost 20 pounds. I started taking care of myself. I started really loving myself, and it's a journey. It's not a 360 right away. It's a process. One minute you're gonna be okay, one minute you're not. It's okay. It's growing pain. It's a part of the journey. But as long as you want to do better, it is so worth it. I'm in such a happier place. I'm in a healthier place. I got back to church. I joined the church. I reunited with my best friend. I reunited with great people. I let go of toxic people. I let go of toxic atmospheres. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking because those things were clearing my mind up. I didn't need those things. I wanted those things, but I didn't need those. I never needed those. So we have to understand what are things that we don't need that's holding us, to keep us in toxicness, to keep us in our pain, to keep us in a bondage mindset. You have to be willing to change your mindset. I said this before: mind, body, and soul. I want you to love yourself, and I want you to work on yourself, because it is so worth it. Oh my God, it is so worth it. Because you realize it wasn't you. You realize that you're worthy. You realize you deserve to be treated right. You realize that you deserve to be on this earth. You realize that you have purpose. You realize that life is not over for you. You realize that things are going to work out, and that things have been working out even in the midst of your storm. God kept you. I survived COVID. I survived a toxic friendships, relationships, whatever. I survived COVID. I think I said that right. I survived so much, and you survived so much, and you should be proud of yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. It takes time. This is a journey. It's not a race. It's a journey. And so I hope that this inspires you. I hope that this makes you want to get up. And I hope that this shows you that you are stronger than you think you are. If you can get up, even in the midst of the hurt and the pain, even the times where you feel like I don't want to get up, and you still get up to go to work, you still get up to take a shower, you still get up to pee, you're stronger than you think. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't even do those things. So don't be hard on yourself. Breathe and accept the journey, and appreciate the journey, even through the pain, because our pain is what makes us see life in a different way. And so I am so inspired. I'm so thankful to get a second chance. I'm thankful, and this is not to bash anybody. This is not to make anybody look like a bad person, but it's my truth. And it is so important that I allow you guys to hear my story, so that you can find some healing, and that you're not alone, and that I'm in this with you. So thank you guys so much, because your pain is turning into purpose. Whew. And God is going to use that for great things. And he's going to elevate you and show you things that will blow your mind if you allow him in your heart, and if you allow him to use you, and if you allow him to be front and center. My peace, my joy comes from the man upstairs. And I can't be on this platform without giving God praise for saving me, for giving me a second chance, for allowing me to be on this earth, for allowing me to be the woman I am called to be, for allowing me to have the boldness and the boisterous voice that I have, because my voice is powerful. And I realize every time I stop, it's because the enemy wants me to stop. He gets in my head, and my anxiety gets the best of me. I think things, I second doubt things. Why? Because I have purpose, and the enemy does not want me to reach it. And so he tries to shut me down. And so you have to understand, what is it that makes you stop? What are some things that you need to get rid of? Because it's only the enemy trying to stop you from reaching your full potential, because he doesn't want you to be who you're called to be. Your pain has purpose, and God is using your pain to create a beautiful masterpiece. So lean on him. So thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. I'm so grateful, I'm so honored, I'm so blessed to be on here. I'm sending love, I'm sending positivity, I'm sending joy to you through the screen. Thank you so much for loving me. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you for supporting me. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much. I love y'all.